This is the Channeled Scablands of eastern Washington, and over the next 2 days, I'll be hiking 20 miles through this desert. The trails are faint, the conditions are harsh, and the weather is unpredictable. What could possibly go wrong? Hiking through this almost feels like hiking through a lost trail, like something that people just forgot existed. There's farming equipment left lying around, broken down fences, faint trails that are hard to follow. All of this is in this place that is so uniquely beautiful. This is all just sage. It smells so good. Desert sunsets are beautiful. They're just so beautiful. But I would argue that the real beauty of the Channeled Scablands is in its geological history. It's all lava rock. And that is just like mind-blowingly cool. If you live in Washington and you're looking for an early season backpacking trip, you should come here.
I love backpacking.
Sprint. Oh, did I mention I'm doing this whole thing solo?
This is my show, gosh darn.
I got to the trailhead and weighed my pack. My pack actually weighs 30 pounds, which is a lot heavier than I would like it to be, but I'm carrying 4 liters of water with me for the next 2 days because I'm anticipating that this will be a completely dry trail. I'll be hiking around 10-ish miles today. With that, let's go. I got out of my car and immediately right here, an animal skeleton. Farm right there, factory back there, highway right there, and the trailhead. Clearly not very frequently visited. That should be cool. Get going. Really quick fit check before we get going. Hat is from our shop. Bandana is from Bandits. Fleece is from Sam Bob. Pack is Light AF, as is the fanny pack. Pants are from Nara. They have a P zipper. Goes like that. And shoes are from Zero. Let's go. So already this trail is starting out very differently from anything else I've hiked in a long time. We're basically like walking through farmland and crossing through cattle gates and stuff. Just not at all what I think of when I think of Washington. Woo! The trail that I'm on is called the Lakeview Trail, and it actually goes all the way up to Lakeview Ranch. There are a bunch of horse prints. Horse, Miranda. So the first several miles of this hike are actually just through this old Jeep trail. It's beautiful out now. It's actually getting kind of warm, even though it's windy, so I need to strip a layer. I'm a bit wary though, because there is a rainstorm predicted for tomorrow. I'm a teensy bit nervous about that. We made it 2 miles in. Nope. We made it 1 mile in before ditching the fleece. Oh, actually, I'm gonna pee. Pee time. Ugh. Great. Onward we go. So according to the Washington Trails Association, we'll pass through 4 cattle guards before we get to the basalt towers. That's cattle guard number 1. Woo! That's the most solid chunk of horse poop I've ever seen. Maybe more fiber horse. Cattle guard number 2. Number 3. And cattle guard number 4. Now from here, I think I basically continue along this fence to my right. And at some point in the next couple miles, I should actually see the coulee where we're headed and the basalt columns of Odessa Lake in the distance. I'm ready for some change here. I've been hiking for about 4 miles now, and for the most part, the trail's been one note. Let's keep going, see if we can get to something cool. Quick pause. We are parked outside my local coffee shop because I am taking their Wi-Fi to download an application that I forgot to put on my phone before I left. And this feels like the perfect time to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN. Now, before you ask what a VPN service has to do with a backpacking YouTuber, let me explain. A VPN is a virtual privacy network, and it essentially acts as a disguise for your computer's IP address when you are browsing the web. Now, I travel a lot, which means I am frequently using free, public, and unprotected Wi-Fi, such as the Wi-Fi from the Starbucks behind me. I started using Surfshark over a year ago when I discovered how easy it is for hackers to access my computer when I'm using public Wi-Fi. Surfshark is really simple. You can use it across a variety of devices. All you have to do is open up the app, select your country, and it'll show you here that you are connected. Now, I primarily use Surfshark for that extra layer of data protection, but you can also use it if you are ever traveling internationally and you want to access local websites or services even when you are are abroad. And right now, if you sign up, you can use the code on my screen to get an additional 3 months free. And if you decide Surfshark's not for you, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it is totally risk-free. Okay, I'm gonna download this app, and you are gonna get back to the video. Oh, now there we go. I just came up over a little ridge, and I'm finally seeing the basalt towers in the distance. Okay, I'm gonna get a little closer and I'm gonna show you all. Wow. It's really hard to see from here, but this area behind me was formed by massive floods millions of years ago. If you were to go from where I am and zoom way, way out and look at this from above, you would actually be able to see markers of flooding and lava flows that came through and caused the formation of this part of the state. And that huge marker of flooding has actually helped geologists understand the way in which the current continents were formed. Super, super cool. I'm gonna be hiking along this ridgeline for a little bit longer, and then I think we're gonna dip down into that area, and that's where we'll be camping for the night. Whew. What makes this area in Eastern Washington so interesting is that it is so starkly in contrast to the Pacific coast. So we have these massive mountains and alpine lakes, and out here you have sagebrush and deep, deep canyon ravines. Oh, hold on. Come to a Y in the trail. All right, hold on please. Come to the edge of Lake Creek Coulee. I think we're going straight. I've just dropped down into Lake Creek Coulee. Still gonna be working my way down a little further through these basalt columns. That is all basalt, all of that rock. As far as I understand, this was actually formed by lava flows initially. And then these massive floods came through and really carved out this whole area. Down we go into some fascinating geology. See that? Those are the Odessa Towers. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm quite relieved to be out of the wind and into an area that's much more unique. Also, check this out. We had been for the most part hiking on old roads. Now you can see our trail continues down here. Oh, this is all just sage and it smells so good. This is a very different trail than what we were on before. Way more rugged. I love it. Check it out. I believe we are getting very close to the dried up beds of Bob's Lakes. Oh, huge beetle. So I just hit mile 6 and got to the only known reliable water source on this trail. And it's not one that you want to drink from, even if you're filtering water. And that is this cattle trough. Cow hoof prints around. Definitely not something that we want to drink from. Okay, I think our trail continues this way. Is that right, or does it go? Where does the trail go? That way, maybe? Wait a second. I believe we have reached Bob's Lakes. Hard to say though, because there's no actual lakes here. So it looks like I have still half a mile. Lake Creek is actually this whole section back here where there is no lakes and no creek. So I've gone 6 miles. It's a little after 2:30. I want to get down into the coulee first, and then we'll eat some food. Woo! Even though the lakes are totally dry, there's no water drainage of any kind, there's still a bridge! Yay! Bridge! Bridge, 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 bridge! Yeah, that was worth it. We've made our way to the other side of the coulee. I'm taking a short break for some lunch. I have about 16 ounces of water here, so half a liter. And then I have another full liter. And then I have 2 liters strapped to the top of my bag in this Canuck bag. I'm thinking if I can do 2 liters of water today, having cameled up and drank a bunch of water at the car, and then I have 2 liters of water to get me back to the car tomorrow, then I know I have water waiting for me in the car, and that should be fine. For lunch, I have some tuna packets that were on closeout for only 59 cents, some tortillas that were on sale. They're sweet Hawaiian flour tortillas. And I'm thinking about it now, I'm wondering if there's maybe a reason they were on sale. The wind is certainly picking up. Last I checked the weather forecast, it looked like it was going to rain at like noon. Okay, not bad. Oh, this is what I have for lunch dessert. A Quest birthday cake bar. Birthday cake flavored anything is just always good. Makes you feel like you're celebrating life. All right, I'm gonna eat my tuna. I'll check in with you all soon. We are now continuing on the western side of the Lake Creek coulee. As you can probably tell, this trail is now very narrow and very rugged. We are going by so much sage. It smells amazing. I'm not too keen on like setting a specific number of miles that I want to do. I know that I'm going to wind up camping kind of down in the coulee to be protected from the wind. Hopefully just gonna find a really cool spot where I can be within this beautiful area in the coulee, get to be like under these gorgeous columns and appreciate a part of Washington that I have never ever visited before. An area that a lot of people don't even know exists. I am honestly stunned that this place is not more popular. I mean, this is like the perfect early season backpacking trip, and to be able to get out of the mountains and the snowy, like high alpine challenges of, you know, waiting for melt to happen to be able to go backpacking and come out here where it's so uniquely different. I mean, it's amazing. Oh, look at this view. Those are Bob's Lakes. That would have been easier with two hands, but then you wouldn't have seen what I was doing. So I just came up this really steep hill, but now I am really getting a beautiful view of the coulee. Also, look at this cool trail. And those views. Golly. I don't know when I became a golly person, but here we are. How cool is this? Whew, okay. Makes me dizzy. Looking out at this coulee, it says like lake adjacent. Those look lake-ish, lake suggestive. All right, onward. Oh, would you look at that? We've got some flowers. I got up a little bit higher on the west side of the coulee, and I turned around just like taking the view, and look what I saw. Way over there in the distance, there's like a big lake. It's wild. I did not expect to turn around and be like, oh, a huge lake. Or it's just a really, really good mirage. That's a flippin' lake, bruh. So I just topped out on the western side of the coulee. That is definitely a lake in the distance. I'm pretty sure it's Lakeview Ranch. Now Lakeview Ranch is 13 miles from the trailhead, but you can make it a loop and hike 8 miles back along the road. So part of me is like, oh, dirt bikes. That's Lakeview Ranch, right?
Yeah, way down there, you see?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you trying to get there tonight?
Yeah, it's like another, what, 6 miles from here? 7?
From here, yeah, roughly.
Maybe I will try and make it all the way over there.
Well, good luck. Stay safe.
Thank you, I will. So I just talked to one of the people on the dirt bike that I saw earlier, and he said that he's camped out at Lakeview Ranch, which is that huge lake that I saw, and it's about 6 miles from here. And I had a wild idea. I've now come out of the coulee, so I no longer have any protection from the wind, but it's basically downhill from here all the way to Lakeview. Maybe I should just go all the way there. I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I want to keep hiking. I'm really talking myself into this. Lakeview Ranch is actually an old, like, abandoned ranch that was privately owned and now is BLM land. It's still a dispersed camping area, so no amenities as far as I understand. Still gotta like poop in a hole and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. It was kind of funny when I saw the guy on the dirt bike. He was like, what are you doing out here? I think that people just really do not visit this area as backpackers. It's clearly not a very popular spot. The trailhead where I parked, there was nobody else there. These two guys on dirt bikes said that they were the only people camping at the ranch. Talk about a forgotten desert. No one here. There is an extremely cool bird out here that makes a Mario noise. It's like doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-boo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I just got to a juncture in the trail. Behind me directly is where I just came from. Slightly to my left is the motor vehicle trail, but the trail straight in front of me says road closed to motor vehicles, but open to people. No gate, just a step over. Classy. This entire back section of the hike into Lakeview Ranch feels wrong somehow. I know I keep calling this the Forgotten Desert, but this trail feels like the Forgotten Trail. Just shrubs everywhere. The area where I'm up right now, you can see down into an old basin. Look at that. At first I was a lake, I was full of water. Kept thinking people would come visit, but they never did. I spent so many nights wondering why nobody came. Did I crumble? No, I just went dry. I'm not a lake anymore. I'm just a memory when there was water in the coulee. I'm really sorry. I thought that would be a better song than it was. If you can think of better lyrics for a version of I Will Survive, but it's I was a lake, let me know in the comments. We are now slowly descending back down into the coulee, which means I think we'll be approaching Lakeview Ranch pretty soon. Look at these huge bushes just in the middle of the trail. Wow, this trail is just getting more and more overgrown and hard to navigate. So I'm right now passing by an old farm that appears to still be operational. Now I just need to find where my trail goes to the ranch. Okay, well, I definitely just accidentally trespassed on that farm. I came out onto the road and there was a sign that said no trespassing, like from the road to the farm. I feel really bad. On top of that, now I'm like walking along the road trying to find this Lakeview Ranch thing. This is kind of a cool experience, especially because I came out here with this idea that this trail and this entire kind of area of Washington has been forgotten by backpackers. And it turns out that because of that, it's really hard to find the trail sometimes. Sometimes you trespass on someone's property. Try not to panic about getting arrested or upsetting someone or any other million bad things that could have happened. All right, let's get to camp. Whew. All right, so I made it to Lakeview Ranch. Turns out that those two dudes on the dirt bikes that I saw are actually part of a group of like 6 dudes on dirt bikes. The campsites there are pretty occupied. Kind of walking back here a little ways. See what we can find. Boom. I think we found camp for the night. So let's go ahead and get camp set up. I'm gonna show you this tent really fast because it's a new one you haven't seen me use yet. This is from Outdoor Vitals. It is the 40th one-person tent. I've been looking for a one-person tent that I really love, and I used the tarp tent, the rainbow. I used a Big Agnes Fly Creek many, many years ago and didn't love that one. I used the REI Cortodome and did not like that tent at all. But I had the chance to go on a backpacking trip with the whole team at Outdoor Vitals, as well as a ton of other outdoor YouTubers, and they gave us some tents, and I got the 40th. So yeah, we're giving it a shot. This is its second ever night out. Now I'm setting this tent up with carbon fiber poles from Outdoor Vitals, not trekking poles, but it is designed to be used with trekking poles. You'll notice one of the poles is longer than the other one. That is because the door side of the tent is taller than the non-door side of the tent. It helps it in the rain, and it also gives you like additional headroom. Oh good. Ground is not friendly for stakes. There we go. Oh, all my stakes just want to come out. I know, this is not ideal ground for you. I got my tent all set up. I'm not super confident in the pitch because a lot of these stakes are really trying to come out of the ground. But there are no big rocks around here, so there's no way for me to support them or to hammer them into the ground. So, crossing our fingers. Because it's supposed to get so windy tonight, I also added the extra guy lines to the tent. Welcome to camp. Insulated jacket for later. Insulated booties, base layer bottoms, Nemo tensor sleeping pad, hood for my quilt. My quilt. Oh, I forgot my pillow. No. Dang it. Okay, other things go over here. Weird tortillas, a little notebook, camera stuff, my filter, dry bag for the camera, rain jacket for Miranda, headlamp, and some element and some tuna. It's time to cook some dinner. I don't think those are coyotes. I think they're just birds. For dinner, we have pad thai from Good to Go, using our Big Sky International food pouch, one of my favorite new pieces of gear. So it turns out that Lakeview Ranch is not where I saw all that water. That is Pacific Lake Boat Launch, which also has campsites. And that's like a mile down the road. I set up all my stuff here, so I'm gonna stay here, but it turns out that there's actually not any water here. There was a well, but it is dry. There is also a spigot here that I haven't yet tested. It does say non-potable water, but I'm pretty sure I could filter it and it'd be fine. Today was really interesting. I feel like everything that has happened today for me has just epitomized this idea that this is Washington's forgotten desert. There's farming equipment left lying around. There's old gates that no longer have latches. There's broken down fences, faint trails that are hard to follow. All of this is in this place that is so uniquely beautiful and so geologically important. It's fantastic. If you live in Washington and you're looking for an early season backpacking trip, you should come here. And this place is set up for people to come and recreate. Like, it is maintained in a way where you're not going to destroy it. Like, we should tell people to come here. Come here, it's amazing. I'm hoping to make it back to my car by noon tomorrow, because that's when the rain is really supposed to start. And I would love to not be backpacking when it starts dumping rain. It is 7:10. Oh yes, food is ready. Dinner time. Yum. Oh, pretty good. It's tiny. I accidentally brought one of the like one serving ones, which is like 400 and some calories, which is not enough for hiking 13 miles. Talk to you soon. We are having the most spectacular sunset right now. It is so gorgeous. Desert sunsets are beautiful. They're just so beautiful. Now that the sun is about to go down, it's time to quickly clean up all of my stuff and start getting ready for bed. I just boiled some water and put it in my Nalgene. My fingers have gone completely numb, so this is hopefully gonna help me warm them up. It is 8:15, it's totally dark, the sun has set, but I think that tomorrow's hike out, my biggest goal is really going to be to get back to the car. I also want to tell you a little bit more about the Channeled Scablands, which is the area where I've been backpacking today, because I haven't told you about how or why it got the name, the Channeled Scablands. It's pretty interesting. And I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning so we can have a nice morning together where I will show you some of my gear and then get packed up and get the heck out of here before the rain starts. Good night.
Good morning. I slept in. It is 7 a.m. already. It was so warm and cozy last night. This quilt is the best. This hood is the best. This sleeping pad is the best. I love backpacking. And here's one thing that's not so great. This tent is covered in condensation, which is just kind of like the nature of single wall tents like this one. I had water dripping on my face a lot of last night. Other than that though, really cozy. Honestly, just a great night. I just got up to pee and it has already started to rain. I'm gonna grab my food. We're gonna make some coffee and some breakfast. I was really worried about being cold last night with that little hot water bottle heater, pouring boiling water in the Nalgene and holding that in my sleeping bag. made a world of difference. I wound up being so cozy last night. Here we go. Come on, Miranda. We are going to be cooking and eating breakfast from the safety of my tent. This is not generally a good idea. If you get like food on your sleeping bag or like your tent smells like food, animals will be more attracted to it. But I'm headed home today, and that means that I can clean anything that does get dirty or smelly. So the other reason this is not a good idea is because lighting a flame by a flammable tent is a bad call. So we have put my stove away from the vestibules. You can even scoot it away a little further. Oh, there it is. For breakfast we have blueberry vanilla delicios and coffee. Let's make some breakfast. I really hope it stops raining. Okay, we have boiling water. The rain is just getting harder and harder. So I'm gonna eat my food and start packing up my stuff. I think it's just gonna get worse as the day goes on. Boo. All right, time for breakfast. First sip of coffee in the morning. So good. So I just stuffed my quilt and my hood into my bag there. And now I'm rolling up my sleeping pad. I went through a phase where I was just stuffing my sleeping pad into my pack. I realized it's actually a lot easier if I just roll it up. So this is all my camera equipment. The Sony camera is in this bag. Batteries charged here. I'm charging up the GoPro Enduro battery. I am probably gonna put all of this stuff away and just put it into my pack to protect it from the rain, and that will keep everything dry. I have batteries and extra stuff in this little dry bag. Otherwise, we're saying so long to the Sony today. My bag is pretty much packed up. This little tent is actually really, really nice. For a one-person tent, it feels quite spacious. I do love the like high peak point up there. Boop. And then the lower one here, boop. And then the vestibule is enormous. Look at this. I'm actually really enjoying this little tent. I think I'm going to eat my breakfast. I still haven't done that. Blueberry vanilla is the flavor of the day. If you haven't tried Delicios yet, you have to. This stuff is so good. Not sponsored. Literally just deeply in love. This is making me a little happier. Not quite so sad about the rain. Big back my room. Okay. Here's our packed up tent. I am actually just gonna strap it to the top of my pack here because I don't want it getting everything wet. My pack itself is actually waterproof, which is awesome. Quick little dummy check. I think we have everything rough. Here's that dry well. This is kind of cool though. This is like a barn where you can ride a horse in. Camp. Is that an outhouse? Ooh, there's a scary building. Let's go check it out. What do we think? Outhouse or some other scary building? Oh no, definitely not an outhouse. Wow. Creepy. I'm glad I didn't go in here last night. I don't know what that ever was, but it's scary. All right, so these are big campsites. Whoop whoop, that's where all the RVs were parked. There's like several spigots with signs that say non-potable water or no drinking water or dry well. You can tell that at some point in time there was stock here, like a farm. This is a full-on ranch, but now it's just all dried up. Nothing can grow here. Rain is not letting up, so we're gonna start our road walk. We are approaching the farmhouse where I accidentally trespassed last night. Also, it looks quite strange because it is in the middle of nowhere. Like there are no other buildings around. Yesterday, I said I'd tell you how this area got the name, the Channeled Scablands. So channeled comes from the fact that there are all of these coulees and canyons and gullies that have been carved out. So really, from above, there are all these different channels that run through the land. And scablands comes from the fact that when farmers first came out here and tried to plant stuff, they realized that the ground, it can't be tilled. There's no soil to till, which means there's no way to plant anything. So because of that, it came to be known as the Scablands, a place where nothing could grow. Now obviously, if you look out here, lots and lots of stuff can grow here, but not crops. The plants that grow here are very adapted to this unique type of dirt, to this weather. It's like this is a place where you cannot get stuff to grow
And therefore, it's just been kind of allowed to be wild in a lot of ways. And I think that's awesome. But so much of that land, which is managed by the Bureau of Land Management, intersects with private land. A lot of this is still owned by farmers and by ranchers. It's fascinating. The Channeled Scablands. I mean, gosh, what a great name, truly. Whoever named this, genius. Okay, back into our coulees we go. And not only that, I am currently standing in Bob's Lakes. Isn't that awesome? I'm kind of just like walking along a couple of herd paths, places where the dirt bikes were probably riding yesterday. This is kind of a cool thing about BLM land, because it's like a much more open kind of camp anywhere, dispersed camping, hiking place that's still like protected as public land. You can sort of meander your way around and make your own trails, which is not something that I'm used to doing. Fairly soon here, according to my map, I will actually be hiking back along a part of the same trail that I hiked yesterday. But I'm really glad that I turned off the main road because I get to be in Bob's Lakes. Ta-da! Which right now is more like Bob's grass field. Woo! So I tripped on a rock and I looked down at my feet. Check this out. It's all lava rock. Isn't that awesome? I knew that lava was part of the formation of the coulees here, but I hadn't yet seen any lava rock. Oh, and there you go. I see my trail signs. Cool! Back on trail we go. I have loved being out here in the Channeled Scablands far more than I expected. This hike has really blown me away in terms of being so different from what I know of Washington, and also so infrequently traveled. And I am currently visiting this place at like the best possible time to be out hiking in Eastern Washington. It's overcast, it's not super hot, trails are dry and accessible, there's no rattlesnakes yet, there's no ticks yet. I mean, this is just the best time of year to be here. Oh, and it is so beautiful. Looking out across these coulees and seeing the basalt columns that make up the walls, seeing the sagebrush, smelling that rich, like beautiful, sweet scent of sage. Walking through these tall grasses, seeing those massive black beetles yesterday, hearing the meadowlarks. I mean, this has just been a pretty perfect overnight for me. So awesome. Let's hike back, yeah, shall we? One more mile! We are back! Whoop whoop! Hooray! So after spending 2 days in the Channeled Scablands, I think I know why this place is so often overlooked. It doesn't have the same immediate striking beauty as a waterfall or a mountain vista, but I would argue that the real beauty of the Channeled Scablands is in its geological history. Visiting the Channeled Scablands has made me absolutely fascinated in the geology of this area of Washington and really just the planet. That's it for me. It is definitely starting to rain a little harder. We have a train coming. So as always, if you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you outside. Bye! Train! Toot toot toot! Toot toot toot! Okay, bye. Mwah! I love you. I'm not a lake. I'm not a lake. But Washington still calls me a lake because it does. There is no more water here. You must be very thirsty. You have got to go and find water somewhere else.